They called it offsides.
He was offside. Stop. Stop.
He was
Dixon,
on
you're not
time.
using your eyes if you
He
don't
was
see
on
that.
timing.
You're closing your
Hey,
eyes watching the game
you
if
know
you
on
think that's
Madden,
not.
as soon as they hike, you go and they give you like the perfect timing. He did one of them.
Welcome to a championship weekend edition of Hits and Hoops. I'm Tyler, and I'm here with my pick and roll partner, Chicho. Was good
Wagwan, bro. How to do the UK accent. Shout out Central C. Can't risk greatness. Let's go.
tonight. We are joined by the dynamic duo, starting with Connor. What's up, Con man?
What's up, fellas? How you doing, man?
Doing fantastic, and thank you
That
for
boy
joining
reporting
us.
live from Connecticut, reporting
Live from
live from the
CT,
homeland.
man. Right from the hometown.
You getting charged up, right?
Oh, I'm
And
ready to
then
go, dude.
and then you go back, right? You get charged
Hey,
up with
just to come
Connecticut
right back.
juice, and then you go back. And then finally, we got James also joining us. What's good, my boy?
What's going on, guys? Happy to be back.
Today we're going to talk about both of the past championship games, and we're going to talk Super Bowl prediction, and then a little bit of what's going on with the Jimmy Butler saga. But before we get started, make sure y'all like, subscribe, share IG, TikTok, Spotify, Apple, and YouTube. And look, TikTok's back. It didn't go anywhere for only for 8 hours.
Yo, did you hear though? Like, if you didn't have it on your phone, like you can't download it now.
Really?
Like it's still banned in a sense
Phones are selling for thousands of dollars right now.
that have TikTok.
Yep.
It's
That's
crazy.
ridiculous. That's ridiculous. Let's jump into it, Dixon and boys. Chiefs Bills. Chiefs win 39-29. That's why I have this Pat Mahomes headband on today from
You
Kansas
look
City.
crazy.
Like I told y'all, anybody but the Bills. And last weekend, I was the biggest Chiefs fan as I could ever be. And they took down the Bills. Great game. One of the best games of the year to me, at least.
For sure.
Battle of the Titans, Battle of the Minds. Both, you know, familiar with that element of cold. But where do we begin on this game, Dixon? This was a fantastic game.
I mean, it's the new Brady and Manning. That's
It's what
it.
it is. It feels like it's on
Anytime they meet up,
steroids.
only difference is Peyton actually started winning. Peyton went 0-2 and then started beating Brady. I think he ended up being 3-2 versus Brady in the playoffs. But yeah, man, really tough to watch. Heartbreaking, honestly. You say everyone but the Bills, man, the whole universe. You
Fuck
remember
that.
Avengers? Wait, you remember Avengers? Connor, I know you a Marvel guy.
You know that's
No, I
We
right.
don't
needed
remember
the
that either.
whole universe to go against Thanos. Needed it.
And he
Needed
said,
that.
Threw our best at him. Wasn't enough to get it done. It was crazy. The game was somewhat controversial. We could get into that too later, but I think at the end, Josh Allen had a chance.
yeah, like,
And
that last play, man, I Kincaid dropped it, but I thought that was for what was happening at that during that play. There was still a huge shot. It was
low key, the running back like leaked out on like the flat. He could have hit him. You seen that, Connor?
Yeah, he was wide open, dude. But I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
it just broke down too quick. Like he got the ball and they were in his ass. But pause. But it was quick and it was. But Kincaid did have a shot and he just flat out dropped it.
I mean, his
Another
body
tight
was
end.
horizontal to the
What's good with
ground.
these
And,
tight ends? What's good with these tight ends losing these games, fam?
well, no, the Kincaid catch or drop was way different than the Andrews one. I mean, it was
It was
totally,
different, but it was
totally
similar.
different. But let's start. Let's start on the winning side. What did you see from the Chiefs? How did you feel they played, and how did they get cheated in your eyes, or how did they cheat in your eyes? Because you say later, bro, we're here, we're here now. Let's
We're
go.
here now. Can't keep
Bring out the
procrastinating in
shovel.
this moment.
This
Let's
was your
hear,
prediction for the Super Bowl.
let's hear
It
your
was.
malarkey.
It was. Before this season, I picked Eagles and Chiefs, but I was picking with my mind. Nowadays, I'm just picking with straight heart. I don't even bet or nothing, so it's just straight heart. But um, I think the weird thing was they were calling all those flags mad late. Y'all seen that? Every flag was mad late. It doesn't mean that the flag was wrong. It's just the timing was late. I don't know what the cause of it might have been, but everyone I think could agree on that. To me, everyone's talking about the Josh Allen goal line stop. I didn't think he got in.
No,
Maybe his body got in, but where he had the ball.
you talk about the 4th and 1,
Yeah.
not goal
And
line.
I think that's what they get because that tush push wasn't working. Like the Chiefs, they were on that the whole game. So I feel like they should have seen that adjusted. To me, the more controversial call was the Xavier Worthy, that bomb, that catch. That was weird. It looked in real time like the defender had it. I mean, he had two hands on it and chest. Worthy just had a hand like under it. So I think that was, I don't know, could have went 50-50.
So that's the only complaint because
But this is the thing.
we
They do
talked
that
about this.
play. Look, listen. They do a play like that, and then just in case, they'll throw the flag. So any 50-50 play, they'll throw the flag just in case, depending on the result of the play. Because in that
Okay,
same play, they called a PI on Travis Kelce, which wasn't a PI.
no, that wasn't. Was it like he barely wrapped around him? Okay, I hear
Right.
what you're saying, Dixon. But let's say in another dimension that play gets called incomplete, is what you're saying it should have been, right?
Yeah.
Or intercepted, one of those two, right? That's what you think.
Then and also, you remember the first Mahomes fumble? They called it offsides.
He was offside. Stop. Stop.
He was
Dixon,
on
you're not
time.
using your eyes if you
He
don't
was
see
on
that.
timing.
You're closing your
Hey,
eyes watching the game
you
if you
know on
think that's
Madden,
not.
as soon as they hike, you go and they give you like the perfect timing. He did one of them. But anyways, the
No.
Chiefs ended up fumbling that later that drive. So,
But
but
oh
nah,
no,
I
wait.
think yeah,
Going back to that play, right? It was still a penalty. They still would have got first down. It just wouldn't have been 10 yards as closer. So
which
they're in the
one?
same
Which
position
play?
with the drop slash pass interference. I mean interception that went KC's.
That's what I'm saying. They're gonna always at least have the backup
But
plan, even if
but they no, you're pulling strings, bro.
that
It's
should. But I'm
clear.
just saying that was the only play to me that was like controversial. I think the rest of the game was there was calls on both sides, so that's all you can ask for because
Yeah,
Bills were
we'll be
getting
happy to
calls as
see
well.
that
So
Mahomes wasn't doing that flailing the shit that he did last game.
yeah, no, for sure. What did y'all think, James? What did you think seeing the game?
Oh man, this game was awesome. Hands down, best game of the weekend. 32-29, nothing more you can ask for, right? Here's some crazy shit. Dixon, I get what you're saying, but I think you're low-key crazy, right? So the only reason
Thank you.
why that that interception, yes, the defender to me had the ball first, but Xavier Worthy lands on his back. The guy lands on top of him. So that to me is control, right? It's kind of like baseball. Tie goes to the runner in a sense. If the defender is on his back and the receiver falls on top of him, I think it's a different situation. But you can't have two hands, on top of somebody, and that's
Right.
not control. But, dude, listen to this, guys. I dug into this game a little bit afterwards because I was like, this game was awesome. It was back and forth. Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, these guys are studs. Total yards, Chiefs 368, Bills 374. Crazy even match.
Mhm.
Passing yards, Mahomes 233, Josh Allen 227. What, 8 yards difference? 6, 7 yards, whatever. Rushing yards, 135 Chiefs, 147 Bills. First downs, 28 for the Chiefs, 22 for the Bills. Here's what's nuts. Yards per play. Chiefs, 5.8 yards per play. The Bills, 5.5 yards per play.
Very even, yeah.
And time of
Even
possession.
match.
Time of possession. The Chiefs had the ball for 29 minutes and 28 seconds. The Bills had the ball for 30 minutes, 32 seconds. This is crazy. And it comes down to every single one of these Chiefs wins this year. You can maybe outgain them, but the Chiefs will out-moment you.
Mhm.
And it just comes down to moments in the game. when it matters, Mahomes and the Chiefs, Andy Reid, they find a damn way to get it done.
That's really what it felt like, man. Just the biggest moments of the game, Chiefs captured. But I will say Bills had some great moments with themselves. Got to give their flowers. That I know we
Yeah.
we talked about it, but that James Cook moment, 4th and goal, reaching out for that, like Dixon said, double
That boy
jump.
got hit. That boy got
Like
hit, and it gave him like a double
he
boost.
he tapped
Most guys would
Edge
have fumbled that
twice.
football.
It was an amazing
Oh,
play.
he was getting in the end zone no matter what.
Yeah, that was impressive. I will say James Cook, like crazy year. He shocked the hell out of me this year. I knew he
Yeah,
was good,
underrated.
but I did not think he was a number one like that. He really proved himself this year.
For sure. Tony Romo probably called him underrated, just like you did, Dixon. Probably about 95 times in the last month.
You know he be glazing though.
Holy shit. Holy shit. What I don't understand is why wasn't Cook in the last
I think he low
play of
key
the
was a
game?
little. It seemed like to me he was a little injured. I think that end zone play might have took a lot out of him.
Hmm.
It
Connor,
seemed like
what'd
he
you
was
think
subbing
about
himself out.
True. Connor, what'd you think about this game, bro?
Phew. I mean, last year's game was great. Every time they play each other, it's always a great game. This game was, I mean, I had the Bills. Obviously, I was wrong, but like, I think that Andy Reid's offensive play calling is like, it doesn't even make sense how good it is. Like, it just,
Yes.
the
Top tier.
motion, the jet sweeps, the little pitch plays. I mean, it's he's making like Juju Smith-Schuster look like he was back in Pittsburgh, and it's like they no matter what, like they could be down 10 with 2 minutes to go, 1 minute to go, and they're gonna end up finding a way to do it. And it's just like they just own the Bills. Like every year, it's the same thing. He just can't get out. He's my Reggie Miller type. You know, the Knicks and Reggie Miller. That's how it is with these guys. He just kills them every time. But I mean, it's James Cook had an unbelievable game. Worthy had a great game.
Yeah.
It was just it was a good game overall. And I don't think there was any conspiracies. I mean, the Bills got away with one on the sack. I think it was like 3rd and 4 or something like that. He was clearly offsides and got to Mahomes, or I think they called the offsides on
They go false
Caliendo.
start. Yeah.
Yeah, on Caliendo, which was
That
clearly
was Oliver, right?
yeah. So there was a couple. I mean, I think there was a couple makeup calls here and there, but overall, probably one of the better officiating games I've seen in the playoffs in a while. But yeah, marquee matchup.
That's facts.
Nah,
Yeah.
Connor, I think what you're saying is key. Like that's what I was thinking about. I'm like, what makes this team different? Like, all right, if the Bills and them are so evenly matched, why do they always win when it counts? And I think this is the part where we got to give Andy Reid a lot of credit. They won that game on an Andy Reid beautifully scripted play to Pierre. Like it was easy. It was right there. It was a layup. Same thing versus the Eagles. It was a layup. The play calling is elite. So when you have that top 10 defense, all-time great quarterbacks, the same Patriots recipe, but we have to remember it's not just Mahomes. He also has an all-time great coach, and that's how they really get it done. Them together.
Well, I mean, don't forget that Steve Spagnuolo is a head coach anywhere and on the other team. At the end of the day, he was a head coach before. This is a goaded coach as a defensive coordinator, and you
Right.
have Andy Reid, one of the best
Hall of
coaches
Fame
ever there
defensive
is.
coordinator.
And it's like how I mean, every point of their team is just stacked, and from coaching to trainers to players, it's just too good to beat right now.
It just shows you what winning does to teams because you mentioned Juju Smith-Schuster, like making plays like he did in Pittsburgh. But it's funny because when he had 2 or 3 catches, it's a fun. The culture is so fun and elusive that these guys don't have to get balls every game to be happy. Like Andy Reid has shown these guys his system works and it wins. And winning cures all.
True. Connor, I'm glad you brought up Spags because I think he would have had a head coaching another opportunity years ago, but he saw what he had and he wants to ride with it, and which I think is a great point. And
How did he do when he was a coach, though?
he
Because he
got
was a
fired
coach at
eventually.
some point.
I
It was
don't
he,
remember.
I mean,
it
He
was the
coached the
thing is
Rams.
Rams, so
different.
it's not like
The
yeah, he wasn't
Rams.
coaching anybody great. So the Rams weren't good then
Right.
anyway. But you could tell he was a good coach, just not a good opportunity.
Which is a bad opportunity, right? So him, with that big 4th down call,
The
blasting
cornerback blitz.
that right side with the safety blitz. No one expected
That's the
it.
thing I love about playoffs. Like they'll save a play call the whole season. They're waiting the whole season for one play call. And that's when you really get to see it. Hey, y'all think we saw something this last past weekend, the Super Bowl, we're gonna see. That's when Andy Reid get real crazy. That's when you might see Mahomes line up at receiver or something.
One thing I don't understand is how are the Bills not ready for that fourth down? It was 4th and 5. That we all know and been watching the Chiefs long enough. Spags blitzes, especially in those moments. We know that. How are the Bills not ready for that?
That's where you see the difference in play calling. That's where you see the difference in coaching.
If I'm the Bills and they did it almost the whole game, they threw that extra lineman in. You're telling me you need a 5 receiver set, a four by one receiver with the tight end to get 5 yards? Throw that tight end back there. If James Cook's not in there or not part of the play, throw another blocker in. It's obviously Monday quarterback, but it's like, how are y'all not ready for this? Is the moment you're going to be put in, and you would just like to think that they would have been a little bit more prepared.
Kind of like the
Like I
Vikings
said,
against the Rams, right?
Yeah,
like I said, he could have hit the running back in the flat, but that should have been read number one, if anything. If you saw the blitz was coming, I mean, it would have been a great opportunity.
it was definitely an electric game. Going
Yo, but
for
this has to be tragic though. Bills have four Super Bowl losses in a row, and now four Mahomes versus Allen losses in the playoffs in a row. Like, hey, Buffalo, I feel for y'all, man. This has to stop one day, right? Like,
Yeah, that's
Jesus
true.
Christ.
How do you got
It definitely feels like those Jim Kelly days, right? Like you're just saying, oh my gosh,
All over again.
dude.
And I wasn't even around for them.
I don't know if y'all saw the documentary for the four. It's like called the Four Bills or some shit like that. It's about those 4 years on.
Right.
I think it's on Netflix. One of the best docs I've ever seen.
Really.
Definitely watch it. Yeah, it's a great deep dive. Thurman
You know
Thomas,
I don't
Jim
watch
Kelly.
documentaries.
James
It's
Lofton, Andre John, yeah.
it's an incredible made documentary. Let's
Yeah.
look at the how both quarterbacks played. What y'all see? Well, Dixon, I'll start with you. What did you see from both of these guys?
I mean, bro, honestly, Mahomes has gotten to a level, it's just mistake-free football. It's flawless. It's not even crazy highlights though, but it's just like it's that elite, it's that level. I think Josh is, in his own way close, but not there at where Mahomes is at. But Trav, Kelsey, I'm gonna need you to show up for the Super Bowl. I need you to do a little more than just, get mad in the end zone because I didn't see you do nothing on that field, boy.
Connor, what do you think about this quarterback matchup?
I mean, it was great. I think that we like maybe in the beginning of Mahomes' career it was more of like, I need that deep ball to Tyreek Hill. I'm looking for that pretty much the whole time, or the big seam to Trav. But now he's got that Brady-esque where he's just taking what the defense gives him. He'll dot you up all down the field. He'll go 7 for 7, 65 yards and a touchdown on a drive. And he's just playing like, I know he had the fumble, but he's playing pretty much mistake-free football, like that Brady football we've seen, and obviously we've seen it so much where it's just like nonchalant, like he knows he's gonna go in there and just do his thing, and he's gonna go score. But I mean, Josh played a good game too. Like I don't think he had any turnovers. But if you look at like the big thing, I think was that he runs that sneak off the left guard instead of going straight up. And I think that's why he didn't get that 4th and 1. And a couple times he got stuffed was that they weren't adjusting to like, yeah, great. You love going off the left guard. Perfect. But it doesn't matter. Like Spag is
Not
on that
today.
shit. And I would have went off the right guard one
So
time on that
Mm.
4th and
Romo
1.
pointed that out a couple times.
Yeah.
If Romo knows that, the Chiefs know that. And if we could see that, I mean, yeah, you just got to draw different cards, especially at that moment.
Something different. I mean, you saw the bootleg that they ran on that 4th and 5
Oh
that
yeah,
Mahomes had. Like, dude, give me that. Like, I know the tush push is like this big thing. I get it and it works, but I
Throw
mean,
him in a shotgun.
give me something different. But I mean, quarterback play was great. Everything was great about this game.
they couldn't have played I mean, any better. I mean, it really couldn't have.
Hey,
Definitely.
Mr. No Feet, Mr. No Shoes showed up
Yo,
crazy.
weirdo showed
Hey,
up,
Mr.
man.
Hey, Mr. Weirdo showed up, fam.
He can go back to his island now.
You know
Uh,
the whole quarterback thing though. Like you guys talk about Brady and Mahomes and like the decision making. But this to me is also like prime Aaron Rodgers decision, like running out of the pocket, plays breaking down, receivers are breaking off route, and he just finds the open guy every single time. Like they say a defensive back can't stay with the receiver more than how many like seconds, right? Like this is what's happening. He gets out of the pocket, he makes shit happen.
yeah.
It's like Brady with legs. That
Yeah.
and that's like a broken character. That isn't even
Well,
that's not fair.
Defense is
I
done.
think James is right because when it comes to Rodgers, he can flick the ball like no other. And Mahomes, there's just I don't know if Rodgers did. I don't think he did, but Brady did. Those baseball guys, they know how to throw the ball differently than a guy that's been throwing a football his whole life.
It's just the Mahomes catches just seem so catchable. It's never too fast. It's never too difficult. It's just like right there.
Going to Buffalo real quick. What's the future with them? What's the future hold for Buffalo? Run
They're
it
gonna
back?
be right back. Hell yeah. I mean,
For
they're
sure.
gonna get better for sure. They'll probably get some free agent signings, get better through the draft. Young players get better. They definitely need some receivers, I would say.
So they just try to load up Cooper there for a
Yeah.
season and
Bro, listen, hey, look, Mahomes, Burrow, Allen, Jackson. That's gonna be the next decade. Them four. It's really just gonna be them three trying to get at Mahomes. That's what we're gonna see.
Connor,
But
what's the future with Buffalo?
I mean, I think y'all got it. I mean, I don't think they're sometimes not having the best players, it's just having the best chemistry. Like neither of those teams. I know
Mm.
Travis Kelsey's great, but Hopkins is a shell of himself. He's what had a catch or two. You know, Juju's had two. He's not a big receiver that you're looking at. Worthy's good, but he's a rookie. Then on the other side, you got Mac Hollins. You know, Shakir's pretty good. Samuel's kind of trash, but it's like
Cooper.
comparative to like, oh yeah, Cooper too. Compared to like the Eagles, we got Devontae Smith, Goddard, AJ Brown, like true stacked. They don't have that. And I don't know if they really need it.
Yeah.
And I don't know if they bring in a number one, does it mess that kind of that chemistry up? Does a T Higgins take them over the hill though? Like that's a name to watch this year. I think T Higgins is gonna have a lot of suitors out there. But I feel like they'll run back the same team. Joe Brady's staying there, the OC, so that's not going to change. I mean,
Nice.
they don't have to change much. I don't think they have to change anything. It's just like they just got to
Yeah.
get away from Mahomes. If they do that, they would be in the Super Bowl, but they didn't. So
Yeah. Connor, what's your opinion on that?
James.
I mean, James, what's your opinion on that?
Hell yeah, the Bills run this back. And I hate to say that being in the NFC East, right, with the Dolphins. Nobody expected the Bills to be here this year. Okay? Nobody expected James Cook to do what he did. Nobody
And
expected with the receiving core that they have. You know, this game, Amari Cooper was very nonchalant. Keon Coleman was barely there. Like, you're talking Shakir had a hell of a season, but he's not your number one. Okay.
Mm-mm.
Max Hollins was the biggest receiver, big time play guy. Like, he's been with how many NFL teams? I think he's been a Dolphin before, actually.
oh yeah.
But the thing is I think if I was a Bills fan or a Bills player, this is what you just did this year. Nobody expected. You lost a
Nobody at
lot.
all. Only one person in the universe expected this, and it was Tyler's cousin.
Oh my God.
Like we got to get the voicemail, right? We got to get the
Yeah,
voicemail eventually.
I'm gonna reach out to him and you know he said some words to me earlier, but in the week, but this was before the game, and I told him I'm never gonna be a bigger Chiefs fan than this weekend. He didn't like that answer, but I'm gonna see if he'll give us something.
Yeah, you got to give him time to heal.
He's a one of one, I'll tell you that. But yeah, this was a 10 out of 10 game. I was rooting for both sides just for good football, but I wanted the Chiefs to win, obviously. And I'll never root for the Bills. I don't know how you did, Dixon. You bleed
Hey,
Dolphins
look, hey,
green.
as a
Come on.
Dolphins fan, listen, as a Dolphins
You
fan,
never
we all
rooted for
know
the
this.
Patriots
No,
all
hold
those
on, hold on, hold on,
years.
hold on. As a Dolphins fans, we all know this. Bills is like the least of the ops on the AFC East.
Not anymore.
Like, there's only two teams I would there's only two teams I'd rather see like the Chiefs than anyone else be there, and that's like the Patriots and the Jets. Bills could slide.
Hey, y'all got anything to add to this game before we move on?
No, we're good.
Oh, it's awesome.
I sure, yeah, okay. Going into the early game, Commanders Eagles. It was tight-ish in the beginning, and then Philadelphia after that third fumble just blew that lid open. Connor, you're smiling. Go ahead and cook.
Yeah, dude, my stepdad, biggest Eagles fan I know. So being up here and hearing the Eagles chant with him and watching them, I mean, I was telling him, I said, dude, this game, I don't know. I got a lot of friends that are like, Commanders got a shot and Daniels this. And he's like, dude, I don't know how to tell you this, but it's not going to be fucking close. And I said,
Mm-mm.
oh, you're just talking shit. This dude was right on, man. The defense was flying.
Oh
They
my
caused
God.
so many turnovers. And it wasn't like, oh, I just dropped the ball. It was like I got fucking smacked, lit up,
Smacked.
and dropped that bitch. Like, and then I know we talked about Jalen Hurts last time, how he's not like a winner. I was wrong, man.
It wasn't
I
even that. He
was
wasn't just
wrong.
playing well. This is the Hurts that we need. This is the Hurts
That's
that we need to see.
Come on, fam.
yeah. Hey, and I know Dixon was big on that, but I mean Barkley did his thing. Of course, we saw it, but
Oh my
he
God.
did get bottled up though. He got bottled up quite a bit after those few bigger runs. But Hurts played probably the most perfect game I've ever seen him play.
Beautiful
One of
game.
his best games of the career, bro.
From play one to the last play, and it was just overall just an absolute beatdown. Shout out to Kenyon Mitchell, by the way, the rookie with a pick. Absolutely nasty. Shades of Sauce Gardner for sure. But yeah, dude, what a fucking game. Shout out to Dixon for the Jalen Hurts love, man.
Dixon, what do you
Nah,
think
for
about this
sure.
game?
Bro, it's like people that didn't see the game, that just see the stats, they wouldn't believe if I told them like, yo, Jaden Daniels was unstoppable. Like if you watch that game, Jaden Daniels was unstoppable to a certain point. When everything broke down, there was nothing he could do. But I really was very highly impressed with him. I'm like, oh, that kid, he's a winner. But that Eagles defense, like Connor said, they were playing with urgency.
They were
Like when they say
suffocating teams.
playoffs go another level each round, you saw that. Like they were playing with urgency and yeah, they all balled out. And then the offense, I mean, stacked, and I
Seamless,
feel like
bro.
they just spread the ball all around. Saquon with that first play, and Tom Brady explained it. Yo, shout out my boy Brady. You got better.
Shout
For
out
You
sure.
got way
Brady,
better in the
yeah.
booth. Hey,
For
fam,
sure.
you heard the criticism. You heard hits and hoops roasting you, and you just like when you were on the field, you got to work. Became a lot better. Shout out Brady, but he was saying like, yo, you know how there's been like explosive offenses like, Peyton's Broncos or Brady's with the Randy Mosses, but he was like, this is an explosive offense with a running game, an explosive offense running. And it really was that Saquon Barkley, that first carry was special.
You just knew, and you could feel watching that game. You could feel Philly through the
You could feel
TV.
the city.
It was just it was so electric. And after that first run, you're like, oh shit, it might be 100-0. But I will give the Commanders a props, bro. They snuck back in the game twice because after that third fumble, that was it. Because they
Right.
brought it back 14-12, which they should
They were
just kick the
driving.
field goal. Then they got that next stop. Then boom, fumble. They get the 7. They get the 6, and all of those fumbles were on their side of the field. Easy, easy touchdowns for the Eagles. But you gotta give the Eagles props though, man. They executed, suffocated. Everything was so hard for the Commanders. You thought,
Had
okay,
to fight for every inch. Every
every inch.
drive was 2 4th downs at least, and Jaden was converting them. That was the crazy shit.
And you could tell the Commanders were really just trying to keep the ball out of Philly's hands. 5 yards, 6 yards, 3 yards. But Philly wasn't having none of that. They forced those turnovers, blew this game up, and just ran the ball, killed clock. Philly looked fantastic, bro.
Yeah,
James, what you see out there?
man, I love every one of those takes that you guys took, and my mind's just going crazy because there's so many moments in this game. Commanders, great game, but the first two drives said it all to me in a sense. 18 plays, opening kickoff, 18 plays, and you got 2 fourth down conversions, and then you end up getting a field goal. 3 points. First play for the Philadelphia Eagles. Saquon Barkley almost hits my over at 65 yards rushing on one play. You're like, yeah, there you go. Boom. Right? So you almost felt like you guys said, it's just that momentum. Like 18 drives, only got 18 plays in a drive. You only got 3 points. One play, touchdown. Like you felt that whole air go out, right? So my thing is that right there set the Eagles up for Jalen Hurts to be successful. He is a dink and dunk play action guy. You don't ask too much for him. You just ask him to make smart plays. And that's exactly what they had all game long. And Jalen Hurts managed that game beautifully. 7 rushing touchdowns, guys. That's insane. And the Commanders' defense is known for a strong front line. Granted, Deron Payne was out, which is a huge loss on that front. But still, 7 rushing touchdowns, that's tough.
I think it's tied. That tied for most of all time for
You
playoff
did.
game. I think so.
And I'll tell you what, the one thing for me, the Commanders brought in a big defensive back this year to shore up, right, to help them for that run. Marshawn Lattimore, to me, was exposed badly. A.J. Brown
Threw that on the barbecue.
exposed him. And I actually felt bad for Lattimore. I'm like, whoa, you're supposed to be that number one guy, you know? And he got pushed around, and his emotions got into it, you know? And
Yeah, they definitely got into it.
for sure. But like you said, the Commanders dinked and dunked their way. 5 yards, 4 yards, 5 yards, 4 yards. I mean, you had your number one receiver was your tight end, Zach Ertz, 11 catches, I think 100-something yards. I don't think they had anybody over 50 or 60 yards other than that. Like, that's tough. That's tough.
Yeah, I know Scary Terry was around.
Yeah, one play.
Explosion, like 36-yard touchdown. But
And
yeah,
Zach Ertz, that was just pure revenge for Philly trading him.
Philly revenge.
But
Yeah.
it almost became too predictable where Jaden Daniels was going to go with the ball almost every single time.
Yeah.
Just thinking of dunking, nothing down the field. It's tough.
Plus, they had no run game whatsoever.
So here
Oh,
was
no.
something very intriguing, and I did not know this, but they said it in the game. The number one defense in the NFL this year,
Philly.
Eagles.
Philadelphia Eagles. I did not know that.
Mm-hmm.
I
Hey,
was like,
Tyler, our boy Vangio.
Nah, he's
Trying
not
to tell you,
that's,
fam.
That's beef, bro.
Try to tell you,
That's
fam.
beef.
Our boys over there in Miami crying about he's too harsh. Come on.
Yeah, it's fucked up because that means that you were right about that. It's fucked up because those players that were complaining, they ain't even gonna be there anymore.
Come on, bro. You know Miami get these boys all in the ego and shit.
Yeah, that was the main reason why I wanted Philly to lose, but they were so good. They're gonna be such a good opponent in the Super Bowl. They played a fantastic game. I'm a Philly fan. I'm going into the Super Bowl with my chest high.
Hey, the rematch.
Rematch from 2 years ago.
Yeah, what the fuck is on your head, man?
What?
Brother,
What?
I can't even fucking fathom what he got on his head right now, bro.
This is crazy.
From that to whatever James got in his background, I don't know
what's
what's
happening
going
back
on.
here?
Yo, I don't know what's going on, fam.
This is a Dolphins fan I got out here looking at
This
Patrick
is-
Mahomes,
this is-
man.
This is different.
Dick
It
said
hurts, right?
This is
screenshot.
amazing. I'm so glad it's recorded.
Are we going to see a Philly special again?
Yeah,
Back to the
Saquon could throw
Foles
ball.
days.
Yeah. Did that happen
I'd love to
in
see
the
that.
last Super Bowl? The Philly special?
Yeah, possibly.
That was in the Nick Foles one versus
Yeah.
the Patriots. My favorite Super Bowl of all time.
Y'all got anything to add on this game? Oh yeah, I got one. I got a question for y'all. What's the future with the Commanders?
It's
Because
going
they got a lot of
up.
one-year guys. A lot of
The
one-year guys.
Commanders. That's just going up, bro.
Connor, what do you think?
Yeah, I think they got to get a. I know Terry's their number one, but I just don't know if he's a number one. I think you need to have one of those bigger, dominant receivers. Like I know, like I keep saying about T Higgins, like I think that he's a guy that you could throw in there, and they're a good one too. Um, but I know Zach Ertz is probably pretty much finished up. Maybe he got another year, maybe, but like it is what it is with him. Like their defense is just they have the worst defense in the league. It's not a talking shit. It is what it is.
Gotta
So
work on that
they gotta
defense.
figure that out. They have the worst rushing defense. You got to get some big boys in the middle. Even with Payne, like they were still the worst. So
Wagner
um,
might be done too.
Wagner, I mean, he just but I mean, he's so good that it doesn't even look like
He's
he's
still
close to being
great. He
done.
just might just be like, all right, I'm tired.
Or go somewhere else. Like he signed a 1 year deal, I believe, or so he
Right,
might
right,
be.
right.
But I think I mean, if you're a Commanders fan, like I think I mean, shit, your rookie quarterback took you to, right there. So
Was
I
this,
think
wait,
you'll be
hold
fine.
on. Was this the greatest rookie season of all time? From a
Sanchez had a pretty
quarterback?
good
From a
rookie.
quarterback?
Sanchez had a
It's
pretty good rookie season.
it's got to be one of them, man. It's really got to be
No,
one of them.
I
'Cause
would,
Stop,
if
stop.
unbiasedly, like it's Jaden Daniels because he gives you way more on the ground. He gets you a better, he doesn't have as many turnovers, and he's playing with a worse team with the worst defense. So definitely him.
definitely got a good road coming up, hopefully. And I would say they play well enough and with their reputation that they'll definitely attract some free agents that, like you said, a T. Higgins, something of that caliber.
Javon Holland, maybe.
I would think, yes, I would think they have some pieces, and I know they have some money they're going to shell out. Dan Quinn's a proven coach to me, 28-3. That's kind of tough, but he was there. You feel me? And
No, he's proven to turn organizations around.
I think Cliff Kingsbury has bought some time in the NFL, and he showed that he knows how
Run an
to
offense.
run an offense with a quarterback. You know,
To
because
me,
I'll tell you
that
what,
Dak,
JD looked a lot different than that Murray offense. I'll tell you that.
to me, that Dak Prescott rookie season's up there. Best rookie seasons all time quarterback.
Yeah,
That was special. That was a special one.
yeah, they made it to a second
CJ
round last year.
Stroud, CJ Stroud too.
I think CJ had a lot of. I think his division made him look a lot better because they just,
Just and because he also had that big playoff win too.
yeah, that too. But I
You
think
got to get at least one playoff win to
the
be.
the Colts really shit in the bed at the end of that season is why they even got in. And then he had a good to average playoff game, but he had a lot of issues this year that weren't his fault, which was reason why I think kind of held him back. But rookie season, I think this is probably one of the best that we've seen in our
Yeah.
generation.
For
Yeah,
sure.
I would say. I would say.
I
Anything else
mean,
on this game?
you don't have a number three offense being a terrible quarterback, right?
No.
So they had one of the poorer defenses in the NFL, but when it comes to offense, like I think they're going to attract a lot of attention. When it comes to people wanting to come play for Washington, I think that stigma now. With the funny thing is, I read a couple of things about Dan Snyder being pissed off with their success because he's like butthurt.
Yeah.
But like I think they're a destination that people are going to want to go play for now. Like they got some potential. If they can get rid of the running back with small hands, they'll be all right.
DC super nice, super clean streets, people well dressed. Connor, I know you know about DC, bro. That's in your area.
But hey, I don't know if y'all feel the same way, but I really hope they go back to the Redskins. I really hope they do.
You on some
I don't
racist shit right now?
I don't think you
I'm about
can
to
go
snap.
back.
I hope they go back to the
You
Redskins.
trying to get us canceled right now?
Take it as you want.
You trying to get us canceled right now?
Take it as you want. They need to go back to the Redskins.
I don't
That is not a
support whatever he's
derogatory.
saying.
That is something that they should be proud of.
That's Tyler McConnell speaking. I'm not. Yep. You got that.
That's cool. Cool, man.
Nah, but Commanders is trash name. We all could agree on that.
Commanders is
But
terrible.
like
The
the Washington
W,
team,
like,
that shit was kind of hard. That shit sounded like some generic like robot type shit. Remember that one year? The Washington football
the
team?
Washington football team, that was fucking stupid. What are we doing? They have one of the best colorways. It's a iconic NFL thing. Like the Redskins, they've been around forever. Those
It's over,
colorways,
buddy. It's over, buddy.
they got
They gotta move on.
they got ring. It can't be the Commanders though. Change it, please.
Yeah. The Commanders it's kind of trash.
I know that one of them was like the Red Wolves.
Okay,
I
there
would
we
look at
see.
that.
Now we're talking.
I think
I felt
no,
like all the names were like Madden generated names when they were trying to make
yes,
them.
for
It
That's
was
what I'm
sure.
saying,
it
right?
was so lame. I'm like, really? This is all we have? Like, come on, guys.
Straight from Madden, bro.
Yo, for real. You're
I,
like, what?
I'll never forget the Carson Wentz when he said, "Now let's take command" with his promo video.
Oh my god.
Damn, I forgot they tried the Wentz thing.
Remember that? Oh my God, that was bad. That was bad. All right, so going into the Super Bowl preview, we got Philly, we got KC, and I know right now KC's favored by 1.5.
Mm,
Dixon, what is your Super Bowl prediction? What do you want to happen? What do you think will happen? Because you're gonna think with your brain, maybe not your heart, like earlier.
man, fuck that. We smoking on that Mahomes pack. That shit comes to an end.
Wow.
That shit comes to an end, bro. It has to. Never been a three-peat, never will be a three-peat. If Brady didn't do it, he's not doing it. It comes to an end. This is it. This is it. Hey, Jalen Hurts, I need my lick back. He outperformed him the last time he's seen him. So let's see if he'll do that again. But I'm going Eagles all the way. I think just all around way better team. So I think if just they show up as a team, should be able to beat one person.
Connor, what's your opinion on this
I
game?
mean, like I said, Pops is a big Eagles fan, but I don't think you can go against them, man. I mean, you can't go against the Chiefs. I just don't see it. I just don't see them losing. They have a better defense, in my opinion. They have a better offense. They have better coaches. They have better, everything. Everything is just, I'm not saying it's way better, but it's better. And I don't think the Eagles have faced a defense this tough in the playoffs yet. Um, I just think that every level of their defense, every level of the offense is just top tier. So 34-30 Chiefs take it away. Three
Nice.
peats
I
is gonna be
like
Ooh.
nothing.
that.
The first point's out there.
I'll be the one to start it up.
Let's go.
I like it. I like it. James, what do you think?
All right. So this is going to be a good one. So when it comes down to rankings, again, I looked it up. Eagles this year are number 6 in offense. Chiefs are number 9. Eagles defense, as we spoke about earlier, is number 1 defense in the NFL. The Chiefs defense is number 9. So paper, the Eagles have been consistently better. But as Connor said, I think the eye test, man, like when it comes down to it, this is coaching to me. Andy Reid and Spagnuolo are going to outdo Sirianni and Fangio, in my opinion. Um, I think schemes on the offensive side for the Chiefs is something like they're not going to be able to beat the Chiefs with a 4-man rush like they did with the Commanders.
No,
Okay.
for sure.
You're going to see Hollywood Brown had a decent game, but Hollywood Brown's going to be more active. Xavier Worthy to me has really shown out this year. Like he was Mr. Drops, right? But that guy balled out. You're going to see Juju Smith-Schuster. Kelsey's going to have more than 2 catches. My wild card is Noah Gray and Justin Watson. Okay? For the Kansas City Chiefs that nobody really ever sees. They didn't do nothing this last game. Watch them all of a sudden have these weird plays, and all of a sudden these guys are like wide open on the backside or something, right? Because all they did was block this time. Isaiah Pacheco, Kareem Hunt. I honestly think the Chiefs are going to win this game. I really do. I think the pressure of the defense is going to be too much for Jalen Hurts. The only way the Eagles to me have a chance is if they can get Saquon Barkley going and back the Chiefs off a little bit. But if that pressure comes in hot and stays hot, I foresee Jalen Hurts having a tough day.
Need at least 120 from you, Saquon. Come
At
on.
least, yeah,
At
Saquon's
least 120, my boy.
he's gonna have to be consistent through the whole game. It's not gonna be like I got 90 in the first half, 30 in the second. It's gonna have to be a full game to keep Philly on the field. But I want to see history, Dixon. I want to see a three-peat. I want to. This is why we did these records need to be
Bro, but why
broken.
couldn't we get a break between Brady and Mahomes? That's my
Hey,
only thing.
hey,
Let me get a break, bro. A little 5, 10 year gap where it's just random, whoever wins. Like, come on, dog.
that's not what the NFL's about.
And it
We
was
know
a
that.
direct transition. It wasn't like, no, it was like here, here.
Yeah. So I want to see history. I want to see the three-peat. I want to be able to say, I saw this three-peat. I dug into this three-peat. And it was
We
an
saw it.
amazing
We
thing
did see it. We did see
because
it.
if you think about a lot of the teams that had a two-peat, which is more than commendable, right? You got the Cowboys, you got the Pats, you got plenty of teams that have done that.
Dolphins.
You have plenty of teams that have
I'm
done
talking
that,
about
but
before I was even conceptualized.
three in a row is that's super super special, and
That's gaudy.
I love NFL history and adding that something that we've seen, something that our kids seen. I feel like that's you can't buy that because it doesn't happen. It doesn't
No,
happen.
you know what's funny? It made me think of this is it almost makes me think that Tom Brady is going to be rooting against the Kansas City Chiefs, kind of like all the
Of
72
course.
Dolphins. Like all the 72 Dolphins root against an undefeated season because that's their legacy.
Of
So
course.
it's like Tom Brady. The only thing that's going to kill his legacy is Patrick Mahomes at this point, right? Or make a dent into his legacy. Not to say his legacy is ever going to be tarnished, but like I feel like Tom Brady at this point has got to start rooting against Mahomes.
I think it's going to be at least
That's
a
like
couple years.
Jordan. Once LeBron started getting a little up there,
Oh,
Jordan stopped showing love. He
I
was done with all that.
I think it's going to be we're going to have quite a while to have that. Yes, we can say
No,
he's a go
no.
now, but
If he gets a three-peat, if he does what Brady never did, he's not better than Brady. I'm not saying that, but the conversation officially begins.
oh, it's
oh,
began though. He went to 7 AFC championship. This is his
It
fifth
hasn't
Super
been.
Bowl. What are we talking
Nah,
about? Brady been Brady went to 10
he
Super Bowls.
just might pass Montana. He probably just passed Montana at 2.
Okay, so he's two right now.
But now the
That conversation
conversation will
started.
begin for 1
Okay, I mean, okay,
because a
but it's
three-peat is
already talk.
like
That's a different
I feel
level.
you. No, it's already no. It's been in motion
It's a
since
different
opening
level.
week versus Pittsburgh. Hey, I'll never forget that opening week versus Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Mahomes' second year.
So yeah, I like Connor's score. I'm was
That's a beautiful score. I'm not gonna
thinking around
lie.
the same thing. Yeah, 34, 31
It's
ish.
impossible to blow the Chiefs out. That's what gets me fucking mad. Like, there's no way in heavens or like if they lose, it's 3 points.
So I heard, I think it was either since last season or last playoffs, they're 17-1 within one score game.
In the playoffs
And no,
or
no,
just in
no,
general,
in general,
just in life.
just the last 18, 20 games. Yeah, it's
I'm trying to remember, man. The only person I really seen take him out was Burrow that one time
yeah. I
in the
mean that,
playoffs in the AFC Championship.
and then Brady in the Super Bowl, which Mahomes got destroyed in, and then the AFC
Yeah,
Championship.
Brady owned Mahomes when he seen him.
But he wasn't. I mean, he wasn't this. He wasn't what he is now. It's like what we
Yeah,
talked about earlier. Like he's just playing on a different level than anybody.
this is crazy.
These are the
Like
two
I
teams that
now
should
I
be in the Super
understand.
Bowl.
Like people started bringing up the MJ comparisons, and not in terms of like play style or anything, but just in terms of like you stopped everyone else's legacy. Like I
Yes,
understand it now. Like oh, Barkley, Gary Payton, Sean Kemp, like Karl Malone, Stockton, all them boys' legacies were cut short because of one man. I'm seeing Mahomes do the same thing to all these great quarterbacks. So it's crazy.
just dominating. Anything? Anybody got to add to Super Bowl? I mean, we got 2 weeks into the Super Bowl, so I'm sure we'll talk about it before then. But
I'll give you
initially,
my I'll give you my prediction once I see my Super Bowl boards, squares, and my numbers.
all right, you got it. You got it.
Yo,
Connor,
you know what I was thinking? Like, if you're in Kansas City, right? And football is like everything out there, are you like allowed to come in late to work on Monday?
Better be
I'm sure it's
Like, I'm sure they accommodated like society a little bit because it's like, bro,
no school.
yeah, like I'm not sending my kids to school. We just won the AFC championship and we went to the game. Like,
Yeah, there's got to be some sort of universal understanding there that our communities don't
There we
partake.
go. Yeah.
I mean, you think about I don't. You think about when New Orleans won the Super Bowl, and
Oh, that was wild.
they just had that hurricane, and it was a big deal, and it was just known that people didn't go to work or school the next day. I think it's just KC. I'm sure the last couple Super Bowls, it's just
And I'm
like
like, at this point,
Kansas
just
City
expected
there.
like 7 AFC championships in a row. Like that's a national holiday at this point for them.
Yeah,
Like you just put that on the calendar every year. Like this Sunday, the following Monday, I'm not going to work, not going to school or whatever.
Connor, you got anything to add on this?
No, it's gonna be a great game.
Yeah, I can't wait. All right, going into our last topic of the day. The Jimmy Butler saga continues. We have our third suspension. I don't know if y'all saw
And
that today.
definitely this time,
Um, Trade deadline's coming up. Obviously, I'm sure y'all been seeing all of the movement of draft picks and the swirl of wanting to go to Phoenix. Can y'all tell me what appeals you in Phoenix? Because they're looking to get rid of
two Hall of Fame players.
you know that they're on the team now though, right? And they're not doing anything right.
They're a
Okay.
playoff team.
They're a playoff team, right? Okay. Um, where do we begin with this ugly divorce? Because you want it to be over. It's thank you for everything. You're gonna be one of my favorite Heat players of all time. But man, why did it have to end like this? It
You
didn't
know
need to
why?
be like this.
You know why?
I know why you think it is.
Hey, this is perfect. I'm always gonna be on the side of the player, bro.
So you okay? Go ahead. Go ahead. Go
Look,
ahead. Go
look,
ahead. Go ahead. Go
I'm
ahead.
Jimmy Butler, right?
Okay.
Over the years, you gave me undrafted G League players. That's what you gave me. That's what you gave me to work with. As a job, as an organization, that's the tools you supplied me. I gave you two finals appearances. So yes, I deserve bread, and yes, I deserve a better team. The
You
way that he's going about it is unprofessional, completely. I just understand the sentiment. The problem is this is two stubborn men going at it between Pat Riley and Jimmy Butler. And I feel like, yeah, it's a contract, but nowadays a player wants out. You let him out, fam. You get what you can.
yes. Okay. But that's horseshit. You don't get paid off of past performance. You were paid as the number one
Oh
guy
my
making
God.
50 M's a year, and you're in Miami, so make that even more. Okay. You're making even more off the court. Going forward, Jimmy, if you don't play, how can we pay you? You haven't played two full seasons, the last two seasons, missed another playoff run. You want 60 going in for the next 4 years when you haven't been playing for two. Dixon, tell me what job is going to be cool with you coming in half the time getting paid more than anybody else on the team. If
Clippers.
you're the Clippers, yes. It's ugly and I'm so surprised because Jimmy is a prove it kind of guy.
It's no, it's ugly. It's a ugly ending to a beautiful relationship. But
It's
I
really
just
what
feel
it is.
like we gotta talk more about Pat Riley, fam. We
Okay,
we got
yes.
like this is a result of stubbornness, and this is years building up to this point.
Is it stubbornness or is it the league not wanting to make deals with someone that has done so much with so little?
He don't
Dame
want to.
knew he was
This
coming
is
to
the
the Heat.
same blow up he had with LeBron.
No, it's not.
This is the same blow up he had with D Wade, and
No, it's
now
not.
Jimmy Butler.
I disagree with the LeBron situation.
No,
They
sir.
knew they knew LeBron was going to go at some point because they were underpaying him like crazy.
LeBron wanted more power. He wanted more power.
Like, but
Give the man whatever he needs.
you knew at some point you weren't going to be able to pay LeBron, Bosh, and Wade. It just was not going to happen. My problem here is Jimmy did what Jimmy could do, but Jimmy's not Jimmy anymore. Jimmy This game is about defense. Jimmy's game is about bullying people around. This league is about scoring. Jimmy's not a consistent shot anymore. You can't just show up for the playoffs and make $60 million a year. Please let somebody else pay him that money because they're going to tank. I just don't see Jimmy being Jimmy anymore. It's past that point.
Yes. This is what's going to happen. He's going to move on, have a good maybe rest of the year, maybe a couple months, and then it's going to go back to what Jimmy does. It's not his in his DNA, but his body's breaking down. We've seen this.
Let me ask you, do you think he has one? I think personally he has one more Jimmy Butler playoff type
Yes,
year.
I do. It should have been with the
At
Heat.
max 2,
It should have been with the Heat. It
but
should have been
maybe
right
one.
now. But it's
I don't
not.
think so. I don't think so. His style of game to me loses more games than it wins games now.
I can't
Because
argue
that
that.
playoff Jimmy, that's a different animal right there.
I mean, he almost turned into Michael Jordan against the Bucks. It was ridiculous. But going
Wasn't
back
just
to what you're
that though.
Oh no, that was the tip of the iceberg.
But that
Going
was
back to what
peak,
you're
yeah.
saying though, Donovan Mitchell and Damian Lillard.
Brother.
Listen.
Brother, that's
They
just
both-
the beginning of a long list of superstars that said they wanted to come to Miami and got pied the fuck up and got
They-
rejected like a bad bitch. Like, yo, what? You want here? No.
Who rejected
We're
them?
good. We're
Who
good. We got
rejected
Gabe
them?
Vincent. We got Gabe Vincent.
No.
Who else, Tyler? Dion Waiters? We good,
No,
fam.
Tyler
Hey,
didn't.
Kevin Durant, Kawhi? We don't need them. Why would we need them?
Who would say no to that? Someone trying to
Pat
help the
Riley.
Heat out?
Pat Riley.
No, Pat. Dave was coming. He was on the way. Donovan Mitchell said, "I was in Miami all summer. I was going there. This is 2 summers in a row." The
And then
Heat.
what happened?
People don't want to deal with the Heat. People
Damn
looked
it,
at
bro.
our finals run and said, "No."
People mad at the big three shit still, I think.
People mad at the Heat. They don't want to do deals with Riley. It's the same thing that the whole NBA was mad that the Blazers got Whiteside's contract, that the Heat traded Josh Richardson to the Sixers for the Jimmy Butler trade. And the league was mad at the Heat. They don't want to do deals with them because they know what we can, but we know what we do. They know what we do with our talent.
But hold on. You could agree. Hold on. Pat Riley is more on the cheap side.
Bro.
Conservative with his bread.
What are you talking about? He has 2 guys, just like everybody else in the league, making over $50 million. What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
He's not conservative, but he'll let you go before which is good. If you think about on the coaching side, you want to let a player go before they expire.
Well, it's not for everybody.
It comes down to this though too, like what's a contract anymore? Like it's becoming like, oh, I don't want to play no more. Let me go now, right? So what really frustrates me about this is, Jimmy, you want to go? You're not liking it here. We're not going to pay you. Let's do this behind closed doors. Let's get max value for you and ship you where you want to go. Now you have completely devalued anything that we can get because everybody knows you want out. So now we could have maybe got some shit for you, but now it's like, oh, you've completely wrecked the whole market for us. Now, guess what? Now as Riley, proven legacy, okay, rightfully so. Guess what? Oh, you don't want to play? Let's suspend you now without pay. Perfect. You just played into our game now. Now they're not paying him because they're going to suspend him. So now you can go without pay until we move your ass. Like, I just think the league is getting to a point where, like, I don't remember what I was watching, but it's like, what's a contract anymore? Like, okay, we own your rights, but really that's all it is because guys are going to control what they want to do anyway now.
Players don't honor contracts anymore. No, that's fucked up. I personally always try to honor a contract. So I don't agree with that part.
Connor, you've been too quiet.
But yo, this is Jimmy Butler's MO. He fucking tries to blow up the organization every team he goes. This with the Timberwolves, with the Sixers. It was only a matter of time before he did it to the Heat. But my fault. Yeah, Connor, as a Heat hater, you gotta be loving this.
Oh man, that's why I haven't said a word yet. I love the turmoil. I love
the stress.
I love the anxiety. We're gonna be terrible for the next. I love it. But at the end of the day, it's like I was talking to my buddies who are Heat fans. I was like, well, you should have just traded him earlier before this whole shit went down. Like James said, before you devalued yourself. But Pat Riley is a spiteful fuck, man. He doesn't give a fuck. He was in the league with Jordan and all that when all that shit was going on with them. Like it's a different league back then. He still has that same mentality now. So he's probably like, all right, well, watch what we're about to do to you then. Now we own you and we don't gotta pay you now. But
Mm.
when I was at the game, when I went to go see the Spurs game, I was like, okay, like Jimmy, it was weird because the whole team comes out and like maybe like 45 seconds later, Jimmy kind of just like walks out by himself
Really?
and kind of just
You
was
could
out
tell the
there for a
vibes was
minute.
off.
It was, and I was like, well, we all thought, oh shit, Jimmy's not even here. He's not playing. He's hurt. And then it was like, oh shit, no, he's way over there. What? He's coming out now? And it was just like I think he only had like 4 points. He just didn't look interested in the game.
Wow.
There was no attacking. It was more just like, all right, like here, take that shit. There you go. And it was just a weird, and you could just see everything was off. And um, you're not going to get, nothing but a bag of basketballs for him now. So it's like, might as well just make him sweat it out. Or, I mean, what are you to take on Beal's contract? That's insane.
Fuck
It's
no,
like,
no, please.
I
Yeah,
hope
done.
I'm
so,
good
because that
on that
would
one.
just set the whole franchise back even more. But
Hey,
listen,
look, I'm personally ready to be trash. All this
good.
mediocre shit, like all this stuck in purgatory, I'm ready to be trash for a couple years, personally.
Well, it's going to happen. So I'm glad you're ready.
I just don't
Jesus.
see the Heat ever. They're never going to do that. It's just
But who do you
I
go
know
get
for a
now?
fact. I know for a fact that there's people, GMs in and out of the NBA that say the Heat do it the right way when it comes to
Yeah.
development, when
Yeah.
it comes to all front office, when it comes to coaching, when it comes to player, you know, peak shape. Because the Heat is not for everybody.
Mhm.
There's 100% known. The players that want to be there, they want to be there. It's just like when D Wade left. When this whole thing with D Wade happened, he went to Chicago and said, "Wait, so you mean y'all are just on your phones at halftime? Wait, I'm used to this military approach to the game, professionalism. This is my career. I'm going back to Miami." And then there's a huge story. There's a big story that when he came back, he was way overweight, and he had to get back into Miami Heat shape. So I know people like to clown on culture, all that shit, but I'm proud that I'm a Heat fan, and I'm proud the way they do business because, like you said, James, what's a contract? It's just I'm allowed to pay you, and you wear my jersey. That's not what the Heat is about. And the way that Jimmy's going along this, I can't believe, I can't believe what we're seeing for what he's done for the city and for his brand and for his legacy to end like this.
Mr. Barista now.
Mr. Big Face.
Take them coffee somewhere else, my boy. Hey,
I
He's
he'll be
got all these
fire.
coffee
Hey,
shops
he'll be
going up
fire
here.
on Phoenix, Tyler. I know you don't want to see that.
Great. They get rid of Beal. They have another person that can't shoot the ball. KD and Booker can't score 90 every night. It's not
They're
to
gonna be
win
lit.
championships. We've talked about this. Look at the Knicks. Look at Connor's team. They're a real contender. Why? Not because of 1, 2, and 3, because of 4, 5, 6, and 7. You have to win as a team. That big three shit is done.
But inside out, inside out, inside out, they can do both.
That big three shit is done. You have to be able to have 1 through 7, 1 through 8. The last champions, the Nuggets and the Celtics. It wasn't just one or two guys. It was everybody knocking shots. Everybody was playing good. Everybody switches. I'm done. I'm done with this Jimmy stuff. It frustrates me so much.
Should we ask Scottie Pippen what he thinks? He's got some pretty hard takes right now on LeBron.
He be wildin'. I feel like
Scottie
every
Pippen.
3 years he just says some crazy shit. Hey, Connor, but speaking about your Knicks, fam, it was rough in the beginning. People were like, okay, what's going on? But now, I just seen a crazy team stat line. Like, 4 people went crazy.
Yeah, it's been like that for the last little bit. But I think that when Tyler's talking about like 4, 5, 6, and 7 being good, I mean, I know everybody watches basketball, but if you don't ever watch Josh Hart play the game of basketball, it's unbelievable. This man has 13, 18, and 11 last game. Like,
Yeah.
and he's got, I think he's like number 2 in rebounds, and he's like
Straight grit.
6'5". Like, why are you out rebounding everybody? It's hustle. He's playing 39 minutes a game. Like I mean, that's what Thibodeau does. He gashes you out, but they're doing it the right way. Bridges has a shit game. Brunson goes for 30. Cat goes for 32, and Hart will give you 10 and 10. Brunson has a bad game. Cat gives you 42, and it's just like they're picking each other
OG.
up. Yeah, the OG. Don't forget about the OG Assassin. So they're picking each other up. Where you see a lot of other teams where, like you said, KD and Booker can't score 90, but who's else going to score? We got scorers everywhere that will get you 10 and 7, 12 and 6. And like that's where we sprinkle that in. It's like, we're getting into that epitome of like, okay, we got a shot this year. I'm not saying they're gonna win it
No,
all.
for
I'm not
sure.
that guy.
You legit do, no.
Hey,
But they
listen,
have a
first
shot.
time the Knicks had 2 starters since like Earl Pearl and on boys like
Or the Pearl, baby.
70s. Yeah, like this is historic.
I'll tell you though, man,
Go
your
ahead.
Knicks squad, Connor, like honestly, I wasn't a big Jalen Brunson guy coming out of Dallas. I was like, oh, is this guy really is he got what it unbelievable. But obviously Cat coming from Minnesota, I was like, oh, you know what? I have my my ups and downs with Cat. He's a hell of a player, but I also think he's super soft for his position. But Josh Hart, you bring up a great point. Like, I think this is the time for the Knicks to win is now because what happens in the NBA is Josh Hart is such a key pivotal player that he's going to create a contract for himself that's out of control. And then he's going to go somewhere else and he's going to be shit because he's a great role player. I don't know if he's a star on the team, but he's one hell of a role player. One hell of a role player.
Yeah, we saw that this year with like Dante DiVincenzo. Like we
Yeah.
offered him a contract, bro. Come back, be with your boys. Like do what you do, get off the bench, hit a couple threes. And he said, "No, I want more time." Well, now he's not getting any time at all. He's not even playing anymore, and he's trash this year. And the same thing, with Randall, he's being Julius Randle. It's like he's back to the old Julius Randle. Like, he's
Top
giving
2
up.
more selfish player in the league.
Oh,
I hate
yeah.
watching him play.
Me too, man. I don't have to watch him anymore, so it's been fantastic.
Disgusting, bro.
He's
Just
like your high
pass the
school.
ball.
He's like your high school bully friend when you're playing ball, and it's like if you just shot 3 times, now he's gonna get his next 2, no matter what.
Pass the
He-
ball. He's wide
like,
open.
dude,
Like he's
yeah.
right there, wide open.
It's like he's gonna get
Don't
his
matter.
shots, no matter if it's a good one or not.
You got Ant Edwards right there, wide open. It don't matter.
Yeah, going back to what you were saying though, James, about maybe in the future, Josh Hart will do that. But some of these teams, I don't see. Pat Riley has a thing called the disease of me, right? When people start winning, they start up say, "Hey, I deserve this. I deserve this." Right? Whatever. I don't see it, the Knicks team and a couple other contenders having that issue. So I think they can do this for a couple of years. And I'll be the first to tell you, Connor. We talked earlier in the season. Like I was kind of iffy with the Nick with the cat trade, and just because of what James pointed out, how much he was up and down. He was soft at moments, and he's just a different player. Different.
Hey, no,
He's back with his boy Tibbs, and
the
he's just a
Bronx
different
gets you
player.
right.
Yeah.
He's a Dominican from New York, man. At the end of the day, so it's like Juan Soto, man. He's gonna play better at home in front of his
Yeah.
people in his
Hey, go to
town.
Dykeman. Go to Dykeman. They get you right real quick.
But I actually forgot he used to play for Tibbs in Minnesota.
Mhm.
Yep.
I forgot about that. Tibbs was
Yeah.
there.
Hey, they were saying the trade was pretty even when it happened, but by now we could see the Knicks absolutely won that trade.
Yeah. I mean, like Connor said, Randall is awful. He
I
has
think they
probably
were
no
really
trade
like,
value.
oh, he's tougher. It'll match Ant Edwards. He's more hood. Like, what we doing, bro?
Well, yeah, I wonder what the future is there with Edwards and Gobert and
Well,
just
they just signed Edwards to a massive deal, so he's the franchise, right?
Yeah, he's franchise player for sure.
But like Gobert is another one that's crazy. Like defensive player of the year, how many years in a row? But like he's super soft sometimes. You're like, what the hell is this guy doing? Like,
Dumb
but
soft.
I'll tell you what though, like one thing that really I just watched the Timberwolves the other night, like this year that it's kind of I'm weird with basketball. I don't really like follow basketball until the NFL's over. But I watched the Timberwolves. I was laying in bed one night and it was on. The one thing that really stood out to me is Edward needs to learn how to go to his right. Every play is to his left. Every single time. I mean, he's deadly, but like, dude, you not dribble to the right ever? Nothing was ever to the right.
Mhm.
And he's getting shut down a little more this year.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Hey, Connor, if you've seen some dysfunction in the years of the New York Knicks, how would you compare Jimmy's situation to what you've seen in the past?
I mean, we haven't had the thing with the Knicks is they don't ever really get too many big superstars. I know we had Carmelo. I guess you can consider Stoudemire a superstar at the
At the
moment. So
time, yeah, he was.
we end up paying a lot of guys that are like role players or like veterans that like have to win right now. So we never really dealt with that. Like
Okay.
Carmelo never really had that problem either. Like I think he wanted to get out of Denver and he was like that and he came here and he was like, okay, I'm back home. Same thing. He's back home.
It was a sour breakup though with Phil Jackson. It was
Yeah,
weird.
Phil Jack,
That
that
was weird.
That
triangle
was
offense
weird.
era was fucking insane. I
What
was so
was
sad
that?
with that.
I think Phil Jackson just came to scoop up a check real quick. I think that's what
I
it
was
was.
like, he's probably like down bad. I was like, fuck it, let me get a couple million and get out of here. It was
He's like, I need
exactly
new
what
house in
happened.
Cabo.
Yeah,
But
that
yeah,
was
no,
just
nothing like this Jimmy shit. Like, let him go. Like, you should have let him go before, and they didn't do it.
Tyler.
Now,
No way this continues. There's a lot of year left, bro.
I mean, trade deadline is in what, a week?
Oh, Jimmy will be gone. I guarantee he's gone. There's
Y'all
just no
think
way.
he's done? He's out of there?
I
got
don't
him
think you
gone.
can. I
Yeah.
don't think you can deal with this for the rest of the
I
year.
don't think he gets traded to where he wants though.
No, you
So
don't think so?
send him to Detroit Pistons or something, right?
Yeah, Pat Riley.
Him and
Hey,
Cade would be
Pat
kind of
Riley.
nice though.
Pat Riley's petty, bro.
Well, this all
Yeah, they
started with
traded
the
him.
whole Knicks thing when Jimmy was talking about like, oh, what's a Josh Hart to me? And he's like, if you're not playing, keep your mouth shut. And ever since he said that in public, you could see the relationship was just like.
Yep.
Now it's like, well, now we don't even have a relationship.
Yeah.
So shout out to Knicks for really breaking this whole thing up. Shout out to us, man.
God damn it.
I mean, shit, we've been. It's just.
Hey, is Spike going to games again?
He's back. Yeah, he's good. Oakley's back. Everybody's back. We're doing all
Oh,
right. We're doing
good.
okay. We're good.
Right on.
All right, y'all boys. Y'all got anything to add to the episode?
Oh man, all good.
Nah, fam.
No,
Can't
love you
wait to see
guys,
the
man.
Super Bowl.
Love chatting it up.
Yeah.
Same.
I appreciate y'all boys joining us, and it's always a pleasure, man, having all four of us around. But yeah, if y'all don't got anything else, enjoy the night, and thanks for listening.
All right, fellas.
Same, bro.